Good stuff. Folks. This is the Teutonic Plague, and what a glorious Thursday it is. Why is it glorious, you ask? Because it is the Thursday before the Philadelphia Eagles do battle with the Houston Texans in Philly at Lincoln Financial Field. This is a beautiful, glorious, lovely home game. Let me go over a few quick points in this, the official pregame video for the Eagles versus the Texans I believe it's week 16, 1-6. Week 15 was last week. We beat the Rams 30-23. That was one of our finest hours, by the way. The Rams are really good this year, so I consider that one of Nick Foles' finest hours. His finest hour, of course, was when he beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl last year. Now, we still have a shot at the playoffs. Our season's not over. Now, the regular season is almost over. It's 2 more games, and then the regular season's over, and we'll begin our postseason adventure. And if the Birds do not make the playoffs, then I don't know, but if the Birds make the playoffs, you can bet I'll be making post-game and pre-game videos throughout the playoffs until we either get eliminated or win the Super Bowl. It's almost the end of the season, so I can talk about this real quick. And if the Birds don't make the playoffs, I have to pick a team for the Super Bowl. Them's the rules. And I'll probably save my pre- and post-game videos for next year if the Birds don't make the playoffs, because I can't just hop teams. Although I do have my preferences as to who I'd like to see in the Super Bowl. Now, with that being said, with that out of the way, not the Patriots, with that being out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this Eagles-Texans game, shall we? So, Eagles, Texans, and Philly. I think the Eagles have a fair shot at winning this game. First and foremost, we'll be in Philly on our own friendly turf. Therefore, the stadium will be full of the Eagles faithful. I don't know how many Texans fans are going to be there, but you can bet the Eagles fans are going to outnumber the Texans fans. So the Texans will probably have, very little support, or at least less support than the Eagles. Now, the Texans, I don't think there are very many Texans fans out there, so they're not used to a loud stadium. At least I don't think so, and the stadium's going to be really loud, which the Eagles are used to. We're used to that shit. We gained thousands of fans after the Super Bowl. Secondly, and I know you're probably going to get tired of me saying this, but Nick Foles. We don't have Carson Wentz this week, and he's probably gone for the season, but we've got Nick Foles. And as long as I've got that Super Bowl MVP quarterback, Saint Nick, on my side, I'm confident of a victory.
Oh, Plague. Why are you talking about Foles in the offensive line? It's the defense that keeps us in the game.
The defense? Look, let me tell you something. Our defense is good. I'll give you that. I will most assuredly, definitely give you that. But folks, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Now, I understand what you're saying. A quarterback's only as good as his line. A quarterback's only as good as his line. A quarterback's only as good as his line, and that's true. But one of the reasons Nick Foles and Carson Wentz are good is because they have good men backing them up and helping them out. They have men that can get open, that can block, that can defend, that can protect the pocket, that can be there for the handoff, that can be there to fake for the play action. We have good men on our team. But then again, I'm aware. I'm gonna talk about the opposition later. I'm gonna give. I mean, I'm talking about the Eagles, so I probably better give the opposition some time and be fair. But let's talk about my guys first. They're the Eagles. They go first because they're my team. That's the fucking rules. I'm aware the Texans have a 7-8 game winning streak or something along those lines. Pretty long streak. But we beat the Rams. And the Rams had a good winning streak too before it was snapped by Philly. So we can do this. We can do this, I think. We can beat these Texans. We've got Nick Foles and Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz and fucking Darren Sproles and Smallwood, I think. I think Matthews replaced Sproles when Sproles was hurt. But I think we still got Smallwood. And on the defense, we got Graham, Bradham, Jenkins. Also on the offense, we got Golden Tate. We got a lot of weapons. I mean, Foles has got a lot of options as it pertains to throwing and running. I mean, like I said back in week 1, Foles and Sproles, you will remember these two names in despair. Because Foles and Sproles, the reason they go together like milk and cookies is because when Foles hands the ball off to Sproles, Sproles can take off, he can run, he can break tackles, he can go for that first down, for that touchdown, for that whatever. And that's why I like Sproles so damn much, is because Foles knows when to use him, and he knows when to use somebody else. He knows when to target Ertz, he knows when to target, and when not to target Ertz. The thing about Wentz is, now, far be it for me to speak ill of Carson Wentz, my quarterback, which I'm not speaking ill of him, I'm being perfectly constructive here. I think Carson Wentz, he's not playing, but I'm going to talk about him for just a couple of seconds. I think Carson Wentz needs to work on targeting other receivers besides Ertz because it gets a little predictable after a while and they start covering Ertz and Wentz doesn't. And he knows where to throw, but you target one guy consistently. That one guy is now covered, so you can't target him. You can't target him at the risk of being picked off, and it's a little disorienting if you're the quarterback. One of the things I like about Foles is he doesn't make that mistake much. He has his favorite targets, but he switches them up. He switches them up. And it's not as easy to read him as it is to read, say, Wentz. You know what Wentz is going to do. He's either going to target Ertz or he's going to hand the ball off to Smallwood. I think Smallwood is his favorite target as it pertains to the running game. Let me tell you something else. We need to continue. We need to be consistent because we scored in the first half last game. We got a field goal in the first quarter, and I believe we got a touchdown or two in the first half. And if we keep doing that, if we can consistently do that, then we have a shot. If we can consistently do that, we have a chance. Now, the reason I'm not yelling and the reason I'm being as mellow as I am is because, folks, I want to be analytical. I want to be as analytical and scientific and just concrete as possible and save my energy for the post game. That's when I get worked up. That's when the fucking I don't have the fog of war yet. It's when the fog of war starts to lift and I start to take in either the victory or the defeat that I get as excited as I do. But being perfectly practical, being perfectly analytical, I can say that I am confident of an Eagles victory on Sunday at noon Central Time in these United States of America. I honestly, I think the Eagles can do this. I think we can pull this off. Granted, yes, like last week, I'm a little apprehensive because the Texans have that winning streak. But I think we can get to Deshaun Watson. Or, wait, Deshaun Watson? I think Deshaun Watson's the quarterback. I don't know the Texans as well as I know the Eagles. Let me look up Deshaun Watson real quick. Jesus Christ. Yes, it's Deshaun Watson. I thought his last name was like Watts or something. But no, it's Deshaun Watson. But I think we can get to Deshaun Watson and sack him. Or at the very least, stop the run. Or at the very least, cover somebody. Maybe get a few picks. Is Deshaun Watson known for throwing picks? Let me look at Deshaun Watson's interception stats. Interception. Let's see. Man, being analytical is tough. He's thrown 9 interceptions this season. He's thrown 9 picks. So, yes, there's a chance that we can pick him off. See, the reason I'm looking all this shit up is I don't know the Texans as well as I know the Eagles. Yes, the Texans have some weapons. They proved that with their winning streak. But then again, so do the Rams. And, yeah, the Texans are probably going to the playoffs. But, you know what? I'm confident we can beat these guys. Now for the Texans, give the opposition some time. Yeah, they've got Deshaun Watson. He's only thrown 9 picks He's only thrown 9 picks in 15 weeks. But you know what? That amounts to about. I mean, he's thrown 1 pick consistently through his last several games. So we should be able to get at least 1 interception on him. Now, when we look at Eagles versus Texans stats, damn it, it's not cooperating with me. When we look at the Eagles versus Texans stats, all right, let me refine my search a bit. Fuck. You know, people are we're the underdogs to the Texans. Of course, we were the underdogs to the Rams last week. Houston has never won a game against us, apparently. Of course, they're a young team. They started in 2002. So I suppose, since they're barely out of diapers as an organization, I suppose they have a legitimate justification for it. Let's see what we can find. All right. Their offense total yards is 10th in the NFL. I'm looking at the numbers, and of course things don't look good for the Eagles. But let me tell you something. Things didn't look good for the Eagles during the Super Bowl either. Everybody thought the Patriots were going to win. The Patriots were the favorite to win. Things didn't look good for the Eagles last week against the Rams either. Everybody thought the Rams were going to win. The Rams were the favorite to win, and the Eagles were the underdogs, and yet the underdogs beat the top dogs. I mean, so anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in football. But I'm confident of an Eagles victory against the Texans in Philly this Sunday at noon Central in America. How confident am I? I'm pretty confident. I wouldn't say it's a lock. Nothing is a lock unless you're playing against the Browns, in which case it's probably a lock. I mean, Eagles versus Browns. Eagles don't even have to show up. Eagles don't even have to show up to that game. They'll cream the Browns. So that's all I've got really to say about this pregame. So my prediction, I hope, because I don't want to jinx anything, I'm hoping the Eagles win, and I think we can win because it's a home game and it's against a team that's pretty much due for a loss. So I will see you for the post game, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. This is the Teutonic Plague signing off for now. Fly, Eagles, fly, and stay Teutonic.